Don't have much money? That's fine. I got some budget setups for you, from cheapest to less cheap, still a budget, so you can easily kill slayers. I'll only talk about Rev, Tarantula and Sven, but I will talk about tier 5 as you can see. The first setup can kill anything up to tier 3, and it is the full end armor with Void Sword. If you want a specific slayer, I put down video chapter so you can skip right now. This setup is only like 300k. Moving on quickly to the setup that does the most damage for the cost, we have skeletal armor with Silent Death. Even if the quality of the pieces you get is not that high, the skeletal armor does more damage than, let's say, strong. With this setup you can quickly kill tier 4s for about 600k coins. And if you find yourself dying somewhere, great alternatives to sacrifice some damage for survivability are Zombie Knight armor and the Earth Sword. I just wanted to say that at the end of the video I'll talk about items and tips which are crucial to surviving and quickly defeating slayers. For instance, a simple fact can make you 5 times less likely to die to Sven bosses. Next setup is the same as before, even getting some legendary skeleton armor, but now with the aspect of the dragons, which for me deals about double the damage, so you're killing bosses in half the time. This costs about 3 million overall, but believe me, it's worth it. You can only use the next setup if you have Combat 22, but you should have that, come on. It's to get Crimson armor, don't worry about the attributes. With the Crimson, the most important thing is that you get the ability of doing double the hits, which means you completely melt the boss. But the cost is a little higher, about 5 million coins. Great pets for every setup that I said. Enderman for damage and Rock/Armadillo for defense. And for pet items you should probably get the Spooky Cupcake for damage and some speed. Now to the most interesting part, we have tier 5 Revenant, which the cheapest setup I could find is 3-part Crimson, so you can have the double strike. Preferably the enchant should be ancient, but fierce works as well. And if you need it, then put Hot Potato Books for more survivability. For the chest plate you need to get Zombie Knight for some survivability. The obvious choice for weapon is the Reaper Falchion, but the choice of whether to have one for all or not is yours. Both ways work. Just know that one for all deals more damage, but it is riskier cause you can die more quickly. To stay alive, your pet should be a Rock/Armadillo or a better pet for survivability if you have one. Otherwise, I recommend a strong damage pet like a tiger. Either way, you should have at least a brown belt. The last thing is healing items. You need at least the Wand of Restoration. In addition, Mana Flux and Zombie Sword are just great items overall for healing. And this is it, you should be able to kill tier 5 Revenant for only 10 million coins. The next upgrade is to get Molten Bracelet, Cloak and Belt. And if you haven't already, put Agent on your armor please. This will cost about 15 million coins and increase your damage by quite a bit. The final setup I'll talk about is to get a Tiger Pet. The advantage is that you do way more damage, and that way he has less time to kill you. But for this you'll have to pay 45 million coins. Now for the tips and the items. A simple way to increase your damage is to try to make your crit damage and strength as equal as you can, which actually makes you do more damage. The best way to do it is to change reforges. Some give more strength and some more crit damage. Put the one that fits you the most. And after that you can do the final tuning and put your points into the lower stat to make them more equal. Another tip to increase your damage, which only works if you have Crimson armor, is to kill mobs during the boss, so your ability will keep doing double damage. You'll stay at 10 strikes. This can be done by simply walking away and killing a mob, or preferably by getting a long-range weapon to shoot mobs from afar. This can be done with any magic weapon or short bow. But before I move on to the Sven tip, I'm gonna speedrun this. If you want me to do a video about Enderman Slayer on budget, write a comment, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. Anyway, most of the deaths from Svens are because of the slam ability, but you can easily stop this attack from happening completely. What you need to do is to not stay on the same block. Just move a little every once in a while and the boss will be much easier. This attack does so much damage, and by just completely stopping it from happening, you're saving yourself so much HP. Even if you are not fighting tier 5 Revenant, the wands are just an amazing items for staying alive if you have trouble surviving in any Slayer. Even the second tier is just great. If you have a lot of money, a great way to make Slayers quicker is to get attributes of Veteran. It may look like a small amount, but it makes a big difference. And the last tip is how to make the most money from Slayers and methods to kill them way faster. Well, that's not exactly a tip, it's a full video. Come on, I know you have nothing better to do.